It's been a couple of months since they released the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I just picked one up in this nice titanium gray. I really like it. I went from the Galaxy Z Fold 5, which I do still have, but I wanted to test out exactly what the S Pen can actually do on something that's more integrated into the phone rather than something that comes separate like with the Z Fold 5, where because it is separate, it is a little bit more difficult to use on a daily basis. So because of that, I picked up the S24 Ultra. And while I picked it up, I decided to make a quick video as to why I do think that a lot of the times it's actually better to wait a couple of months after a product is released, especially flagship phones, to pick it up rather than picking it up right as they release. I did the same thing with the 15 Pro, even though it released in October. I didn't pick it up until late November, and same thing with the Z Fold 5. I actually didn't pick it up until October, even though it released in July. So because of that, I've been following this trend where I pick up a brand new flagship phone a couple of months after. And reason number one, which is the main reason why I always wait, is because it is going to be a lot more budget friendly. It does happen to be a little bit cheaper. A lot of the times I purchase my tech open box used. If you go through a reputable seller like Best Buy or Amazon, you can get open box excellent, which really just means the customer purchased it, they used it for a couple of weeks, they didn't really like it, so they just returned it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it's not worth for me $100 up to $300 extra to buy a brand new device just so that I can take off the stickers. Now, I do think that for some of you guys, it might be worth that much. I know there's channels out there on YouTube completely dedicated to having unboxing videos, but to me, it's not really worth the extra money. I really just care about what's inside, about the device itself. Now, I will mention that you should always go with a reputable seller. Going through third-party used websites, something like Swappa, Offera, Facebook Marketplace, those are always shady and can be a little bit shady. And actually, with the S24 Ultra for me, I went through a whole thing where I bought an open box excellent through Best Buy. And even though I bought it through Best Buy, it still was already blacklisted phone, so I couldn't really set it up with my network. But luckily, because I did buy it from Best Buy, I just took it to the store. I let them know, hey, this is blacklisted. I really can't use it with my network, and they took it back and gave me a refund 100%. So because of that, always go through a reputable seller, somewhere where you can return it rather than going through a third party, someone that you don't know, and basically once they report it lost, they're just gonna ghost you. Now, that isn't the case every single time. I've definitely bought things through third-party sellers, but just make sure you guys are careful. Now, the second reason why I think that you guys should wait is because after a couple of months after a device is launched, there usually are less bugs. There's been fixes rolled out. A lot of the software, when it's a brand new phone, does come a little bit buggy, and it's not only on the Android side, you see it as well with iOS. A lot of the problems with the 15 Pro came from overheating issues, and that was a huge issue there with the 15 Pro, but a couple months after, they did roll out an update and that was completely gone. The S24 Ultra is no different. It had a couple of problems as well, a couple of issues being reported, and now that it's a couple of months after, there's some rollouts that have gone out. Some of the new updates have fixed those issues that came out when it launched. Now, not only all of the issues, but there's also software updates that come later down the road. You guys have seen it in a lot of the keynotes and a lot of the launch events. They mentioned that a lot of the features now are not kind of integrated or coming with the phone at launch. A lot of the features now are made so that they come later down the road. They say it's going to come later this fall or it's going to come later next year. And a lot of the time what that really means is we didn't really finish the software for this phone. So instead of handing it out at launch, we're just going to give it to you guys in pieces. And because of that, if there is a feature that you really like, but they mention it's coming later this fall or later on after the phone launches, why would you pre-order the device at launch if the only reason you're updating is because of that new feature? It makes sense to always wait, because even if you buy it at launch hoping that 2 months later that new feature rolls out, it could be that that software update gets pushed back, and now you're sitting 6 months on a phone without that feature that you really wanted. Which brings me to reason number 3, and this one is for you guys that really like that unboxing YouTube channel where you guys just watch people unboxings, and it's because of sales. It is going to help you guys to wait a couple of months, because then you don't have to purchase it at full price. And if you guys are unboxing fanatics, you guys don't have to buy a used one where all the stickers are peeled off, where the screen has that film already torn off. You can go with something that's still brand new, that is already set on sale a couple months after launch. And not only am I speaking of sales of the current flagship, but the other thing that you guys can look for sales for is for previous year's flagship. A lot of the times people kind of get caught up in always wanting the brand new, getting the brand new thing that's of the year, but you guys forget that there's always a phone from previous year that worked just as great. We're at a point where smartphones, where TVs, where monitors, where gaming consoles, where computers, a lot of this stuff has reached kind of a plateau where it's kind of reached its maximum point, and every single year it's only iterative changes. I still have my MacBook M1 Pro back there, which I used to edit all of these videos, I used to browse, I used to watch YouTube, I use it for a lot of things, and it's still working great. This is a MacBook from 2 years ago, and it's the base model, and it still works great. It still processes everything just fine. Now, similar to that, last year's phone that was a flagship was a great phone last year. And luckily now, a lot of Android phones are actually supporting their phones with software updates, with security updates for longer than just a couple of years. And you'll even see Android phones that go on sale through retailers as well as the main website themselves. Same thing with Apple. Apple will start selling a lot of their refurbished devices, so you can always pick up last year's flagship refurbished through Apple themselves to make sure that you get a really great phone. It's packaged as well, or if you like the unboxing experience, you can still buy one of their new ones through their website that comes already packaged in that new packaging. And being an early adopter definitely has its own perks. A lot of that is having the opportunity to experience all of the new features firsthand before anyone else. So you do get a couple of months to experience, like say the Galaxy AI features, experience Apple ProRes with the 15 Pro. You get all of those experiences firsthand right off the start. But I do think that for an everyday consumer, someone that's looking to be a little bit more budget conscious, it does just make a lot more sense to wait a couple months after the flagship launches. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Are you an early adopter, or are you someone that likes to wait until it goes on sale to purchase a new device? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you guys for watching. Click here to watch another one of my videos, and I will catch you guys on the next one.